Scissor Twins. Let's start with originality. I love them. They are my favorite stalkers of all of them. Their costumes, great. I mean, their personalities, they weren't anything like the rest of the game. They were chipper and happy, and they were just sadistic. It was amazing. I loved their area. If I had the choice to go, I don't know, do Lorenzo's area, young Lorenzo's area again, or the Scissor Twins area again, I'd totally do Scissor Twins a million times. I think their area is so much fun, just because, they're just humorous. I mean, they're not actually scary, they're just humorous. They sit there on a giant, choppy blade thing, and has pinwheels on it, and they were just sitting there laughing while Dennis screams. I mean, it's just amazing. I loved it. So for originality, I'll give them an 8. I just love the idea of them. The old Scissor Man who used to haunt everyone in the old Clock Tower games, he was usually a midget with giant scissors, but this was so much better. I love what Capcom has done with this character, and even given him a sister type character, Aunt Jemima, who never gave me pancakes. Anyway, now for difficulty. I would have to say this is one of the hardest areas in the game, but at the same time it was easy too. I mean, the first run of some parts, yes, I did die. I mean, the whole night room puzzle, oh my god, don't even get me started on that. I hated that. But the fact that they did kind of get easier after a certain point, it wasn't that much. I mean, yes, they did have their whole little bleh, and the fact that they had their my auto aim off at one point, that was really freaking me out. I'm like, I mean, their area was difficult, but not the most difficult thing I've ever seen. So I'm going to give them a 6.5. That's a good rating there. Now for scariness, I mean, again, it's the final areas. I'm not exactly scared. I'm just scared for my life. And the fact that I think the fact that they were humorous and such didn't make me so much scared, as more like, oh, I want to get further so I can see what they're gonna do next. Which, I mean, it's the originality thing. I love those two characters. It's just that they weren't all that scary. I think. I mean, someone that has a fear of clowns might have problems with them, but I just found them funny. I didn't find them actually scary. So I'm sorry, but you're gonna get a 1 there. Now, young Lorenzo, final boss, and Lord Barrel Roll, Burrows, whatever you want to say. I'm going to refer to him as Lord Barrel Roll from now on, so, excuse me. Now let's start with Lorenzo. In his final boss form, he doesn't change a whole lot, but he seems to get reckless. He rushes around at you and causes stuff to turn on that hurts you and stuff, but also he, like, makes the big lava stuff explode and all. But also his final boss area, there were things that he had to do, and I didn't exactly figure that out the first time around. Like, you had to use the lava rocks to make your damage better. But, I didn't find his actual final boss all that difficult. It was just the part where, you had to run away from him when he was the Lord of Fire thing. So, on a difficulty rating, I'll have to give him a 5. He wasn't the hardest thing in the game, but I mean, he wasn't exactly easy. It was just that I was so used to fighting him off at this point that it wasn't that bad. Now, in originality standpoint, I think the fact that he did turn into the Lord of Fire and had you run away and stuff, and the fact that you had to automatically adjust to the whole earthquake thing, I think that was pretty original. I mean, all final bosses need their last stand and stuff, but I think that was a pretty good last one. So, I'll have to give him a 6 there. Now for scariness rating, again, I mean, I just wasn't scared. This wasn't exactly a scary part. It was just more like, okay, I have to finish this. So I'm giving him a 1 again. I mean, they try and be less scary towards the end of the game. They just try and be challenging to the point where you don't have time to be scared. And I like that. That's the way I like to play games. Now we're going to talk about Lord Burrows, Barrel Roll, whatever. Oh my God, was that boss hard? I literally, I don't think many people know this, but literally, we finished up that video. I said, I talked to Toucan for like, I don't know, 20 minutes, ate dinner, went right to sleep. I went up to my room, went right to sleep. I could not stay awake after that. I was so exhausted from just fighting him. I mean, he is terrible. I mean, I remember when I first posted my first Clock Tower 3 video, Katranana said, before requesting this video, she said that he is a bitch. And he is. Oh my God. I died so many times. I think that's the first time I've actually died on a boss that much. In a long, long time. I mean, yes, I have died on bosses that much before, but it's been a long time. I think the fact that there wasn't any ability to heal in that fight was possibly one of the biggest factors there. It was a long fight, folks. I'm not going to lie to you. It's like, I think it was like 10 minutes, 10, 11, 12 minutes long. Just the fight, and then I had to do stuff after that. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And then I didn't realize I just had to walk over this one little area. But yeah, he was extremely difficult. I'm going to give him a 9.5. He's not, I mean, there could have been one or two things that made him more difficult, but he was pretty darn hard. I'm going to say that. He doesn't deserve a 10. Nothing deserves a 10 in my book. Because if you have room to be perfect, you always have an imperfection. So there's never anyone perfect. Originality. I think his scenario is rather original. The fact that your grandfather is conspiring against you to try and get your heart to become immortal as an entity, as an evil entity, because he, after being so OMG rooters are amazing for forever and a half, is just absolutely amazing. I loved it. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I mean, the actual guy himself, the fact that he got a special attack was pretty cool, but I mean, like, he was just a big guy with a sword, but the scenario, I thought, was very, very original, so I'm going to have to give it a 7. That's a good score. Now, again, scariness, I mean, I feared for my life quite a bit. I mean, I was like, ah, but, just doesn't deserve much of 1. I'm going to give him 1.5. So, now that we're done all that, we're going to go to gameplay.